So let's start up Burp and open a Proxy tab. New tabs are opened under Proxy. And the Proxy tool is pretty much the heart of the Burp suite. And by using this tool, we can manually analyze HTTP messages. So to accomplish this, we need to configure Burp as well as the web browser to work together. All right, so let's go to the Options tab. So here's the basic setting for intercepting. Burp proxy works as a man-in-the-middle proxy, right, between the web browser and the remote server. So that means that Burp proxy is going to listen to a port on the local machine. And we are going to redirect all browser traffic to that port. So that means that we need to arrange a port for Burp to listen. But it has a default configuration on port 8080. And as you can see here, it listens on port 8080 on the local machine. And here, 127.0.0.1 points to your local machine, Kali Linux. Of course, you can change this configuration. Using the buttons on the left-hand side, you can easily add, modify, or remove a listening port. Or you can always restore to the default configuration. So after arranging the listening port, the next thing is to define the interception rules. So Burp provides a rule-based mechanism to intercept traffic directed by the web browser. So this way, you can focus only on the requests that you want to capture. And you can add, delete, or modify any rule by using the buttons on the left. But for now, we don't need to add any rule. But when you're doing real pen tests, I believe you will need it. And Burp also has the same mechanism for intercepting server responses. So you can define or modify rules for your pen test. But you do need to check this box to enable intercepting responses first. See, now you can define more granular rules. Okay, so now let's go to the Intercept tab. So this is the main tab that you will display an intercepted HTTP message in. And this button globally enables or disables intercepting HTTP messages to analyze manually. So thanks to these default configurations, we really don't have to do much more. But I did want to give you a little tour. So Burp is ready to work. So let's open your browser. And I will assume that you are using Kali Linux. And Kali has Firefox and Chromium for browsing the web. And as I said before, I'm going to use Firefox as my main browser. Of course, you can follow these same steps for any other browser. It's up to you. It's just going to look a little different. Okay, so now I'm opening Firefox Preferences from the menu. And scrolling down below, click the Settings button under the Network Proxy section. So in this window, Firefox enables us to use proxies. And you can configure their use. So if this is the first time that you're opening up here, you probably will get these settings. Okay, so we need to enable Firefox to redirect all the traffic to port 8080. And don't forget that Burp listens on this port. So check the manual proxy configuration. Type the IP address of your local machine, which is 127.0.0.1, and the port is 8080. And then check this box to send. So it also sends HTTPS traffic to Burp. Now, before saving the setting, delete this entry here, because it will prevent the redirect local traffic to proxy. And nothing to add, then save. So now open a new browser tab. Okay, Burp is in intercept mode. The browser redirects the traffic to Burp. Now go to the Vulnerable Applications login page, and I'll click this bookmark. And see, as soon as you type the address, Burp gets a request. So this is just an HTTP request, as you remember from the previous videos. So now after capturing the request, you can do several things. By using this action button, You can send this request to other tools for further analysis, or you can save the request and do many other things with it. And if you are finished with a request, then you can either drop or forward the request. So I'm going to forward it and then see how immediately Burp catches the associated response message. So this is a raw response message. The header's first, and then the body of the message comes. Now, clicking on the Headers tab, you can display just the headers of this message. And you can also perform some of the same actions here. And then when you're done with a response, you can forward or drop it. So again, I'm going to forward it. Now, because Burp is in this interception mode, it's also going to intercept some other requests as well. So I'm going to forward all of them. And then finally, the login page is displayed in the browser. So Burp also holds the history information for us. So let's go to the History tab and click on any request, and see you'll find the details about that request. So this is how we intercept HTTP messages with the Burp proxy tool. For better interception experience, we can install a Firefox add-on so that we can easily redirect the traffic to Burp. Now, while pen testing, it's not necessarily efficient to change the proxy settings from Firefox each time, right? So what do? I advise you to use a proxy extension. I'm going to use FoxyProxy, and I'll show you how to install it. But first, let's disable Burp interception and disable Firefox internal proxy settings. Okay, so now let's go to the Firefox add-ons website. Let me just zoom in on the page for you and type FoxyProxy into the search field. Click the first result, then click Add to Firefox, and click Add. Okay, so it gets installed very quickly. So after installation, you see this icon in the toolbar. Click Options. Now from this page, we can add proxies to FoxyProxy. And then later on, we can switch between them very quickly. So click Add. And I'll put in the title Burp. IP address is our local machine, 127.0.0.1, and port is 8080. Look at that. You can also assign a color. So save it. Okay, so we added the configuration. Then you can close this tab and click the icon. And what do you see? The configuration is listed here. Now click to activate this configuration. So I think it's really a time saver. And go to BWAP login page. And yep, Burp intercepts a request again. Forward the messages. Now I'm going to disable proxy to send traffic to Burp. And there it is. It's just that easy. So click another page and you can see the traffic is not redirected to Burp anymore. Oh, and one last thing to say here. With default browser usage, you will see many unrelated messages in Burp. For example, browsers, safe browsing requests, captive portal requests, crashes, and reports. So don't be disturbed by all these messages caused by these features, but you can disable them. In fact, I recommend it. Go to About Config and confirm the message that pops up and change the settings that I'll show you here over on the right side.